Welcome back to another training video by V Studios. Allow me to introduce myself. If you don't know me by now, my name is Padman Senati Raja. I am a V partner and the managing director of V. But ultimately, I'm just a networker. And in this video, I want to share a little bit of my secrets of success. What did I do? What did I apply in building my business the past 8-9 years? Now, you sitting at home right now watching this video, you already must have been either through a few days, a few hours, a few months, or a few years of your life with QuestNet and the V. And I'm sure by now you've gone through enough ups and downs, rejection, disappointment, a lot of joy when you get a check, all right? A lot of joy, more joy when your downline gets a check. And I'm sure there reached many points of your whole journey where you wondered whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, okay? Now, to me, this whole concept of networking is not rocket science. It doesn't take a genius to understand how it works. And to be honest, the QuestNet system is the simplest out there. You won't get anything more simple than this, right? But I've traveled the world. I've spoken to thousands of people around the world, met networkers on the street, sat down in coffee shops, sat down in living rooms and kitchens with people. And they all tell me, or ask me, more importantly, the $1 million question. Padman, what do I need to do? All right? What is the secret of success? Okay, Padman? Oh, Padman, what am I doing wrong? Now, the beauty about network marketing is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All right? It's already there. Systems are in place. All right? And if you watch my last video, the simple rule of network marketing is shut up, listen, and do. And I'm saying it again with a lot of love. Alright, so if you really understand network marketing, there's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Systems like 8 basic building blocks, which I hope you have done. The very aggressive, unbelievable system of Rule 3. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3. You can get it on video or ask your upline. Now today, I wanted to talk about mindset or benchmark. And before I even go into the module and talk to you, I want to share a little story about an athlete called Roger Bannister. He was a runner and he specialized in the 1 mile run. Back then it was not by meters, it was miles, okay, in the Olympics or whatever sporting game. And Roger Bannister's biggest challenge was that 1 mile was never run under 4 minutes. Alright, and doctors and scientists around the world, alright, came up with a conclusive finding that the human body was not capable of running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Okay? Alright? And Roger Bannister attempted many times to break what they call the 4-minute barrier. Right? First, second, third, many attempts. And the whole world told Roger Bannister, it's never been done. It's impossible. It's abnormal. It's not humanly possible, the negativity out there. And finally, alright, one day, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier. Never done by any human ever in the history of mankind. And he did it. He ran 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now the funniest thing about what happened, the next month after Roger Bannister achieved it, alright, over 20 people around the world achieve running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now you're sitting there saying, oh, placebo or whatever. Simple fact, Roger Bannister created a benchmark. He created a benchmark proving that a human being can run 1 mile under 4 minutes. And that created a belief out there in many runners, hey, he's done it, I can do it too. Now this philosophy of benchmarking is how the human mind works. It applies to your personal life. It applies to everything you have ever attempted to do. Think about your childhood. When you were younger, alright, if you were supposed to dive into a swimming pool or jump across a ditch or ride a bicycle, alright, you always looked at it as an impossibility. As a little kid, you see somebody riding a bicycle, you say, oh my God, how on earth did he do it? You cannot imagine staying balanced on 2 wheels. When I was a kid, I couldn't believe it. But then I saw my brother do it. Right? And you know your brother. I lived with him for so many years. I grew up with him. And I said, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. Right? So what happened in my mind, that benchmark became achievable. Now we live in today's world with trying to keep up with benchmarks all around us. Alright? How to be a better son, better husband, and most importantly in our business, how to be a better networker. How to be a more successful networker. Let me tell you a story. Back then, when we started networking, checks of 5,000 US dollars, alright, was almost impossible to achieve. 2,000 US dollars was such a great achievement because not many people have done it. But as more and more people in QuestNet achieve 1,000, 2,000 US a week, everyone started to believe it's possible. It's normal. It's doable. If you really start to understand what it takes to make it in this business, is to understand the philosophy of a benchmark. Alright? And today's module is called Act48. And this video, most probably, if you look at the label sitting in front of you, it's called Act48. Now, Act48 is an abbreviation for activation in 48 hours. Now, if you are new, you may be thinking, okay, activation, new word, never heard about it. Alright, now let me explain it to you. Activation is basically when you refer the first person on your left and the first person on your right. Alright, with your tracking center. When you refer the first person on your left and the first person right, you are considered activated. That's called activation. Now, there are a lot of theories in activation. But my biggest question to you right now, sitting there, is how long does it take to activate your tracking center? How long does it take to get one on the left, one on the right? Now, I've traveled the world and got answers which would shock even you. Some people say 1 week. Now, even you sitting back there thinking 1 week, doable. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, doable. Now, some people say 1 month. Alright? And I'm sure there's some morons out there saying it takes 6 months to activate and it's okay. Now, I want to set a benchmark in your mind. When I got into network marketing, I had no benchmark. I didn't know what was possible or not possible. I asked my upline, my mentor, Dato Vijay, alright, what do I do? He said, work as hard as you have ever worked before. Alright, or work harder than you have ever worked before. And I woke up every morning, went out there, showed as many plans as I could, alright, to sign up as many people as I can. Okay, and I brought in 20 over people into my network in 48 hours. 20 over people, directs. I spoke to anyone and everyone. Okay, now if you are sitting there and looking, I bet you, when you heard my statement that I got 20 over people in 48 hours, your reaction was, wow, unbelievable. Now, I thought it was normal. I didn't know it was unbelievable. Alright, I signed up 20 over people. I was a little bit, tired of working and talking to so many people. But I didn't know whether it was good. I didn't know whether it was bad. I just did it. Okay, until I met some other networkers from around the world. And I told them about my achievement of bringing in 20 over people in 48 hours. And everyone looked at me and said, Patman, unbelievable. Nobody has ever done this before. I was shocked. And then I started to slow down. I didn't bring in another 20 over people the next 48 hours because you think it's such a great achievement. Why should I be a great achiever? Why don't I remain as a mediocre achiever? Now I want to change the way you think. Bottom line, I believe strongly that activation, one on the left, one on the right, should be done in 48 hours. 48 hours. Alright? Now don't sit there and look at me and say, oh my God, that's impossible, that's difficult. How am I going to get 2 sign-ups? How am I going to get 2 people to buy a biodisc or buy a CMA watch in 48 hours? It's almost impossible. No, it's not. It's impossible because maybe you did not hear about everyone doing it. Maybe your upline never did it. But you are now going to set a benchmark for your downlines to follow. So if you are my downline sitting at home and I come to you and say, listen, you're brand new networking, you don't know anything